Mom had always dreamed of having a daughter, a longing she held since her own childhood. So when she turned 37 and found herself with a son, disappointment washed over her. She never let me forget it, holding on to that disappointment like a tight grip. Yet, she continued to try. Every Halloween, she transformed me into a little witch, a ballerina, a nurse, or a princess. The closest I ever came to what my friends wore was being dressed as a cowgirl. Perhaps that's what ignited my own curiosity. It makes sense. Your mother spends the majority of the year criticizing you, only to dress you up as a girl for one special day and tell you how beautiful you are. That's why she nicknamed me Macon. Eventually, I began to indulge in it myself, taking pieces from the old clothes she had set aside for charity. A skirt, a blouse, and a pair of worn-out black heels. I would grab a brassiere fresh from the dryer and pick panties from the rag bag. I knew where she stashed an old wedding dress, not hers. I wouldn't dare touch that, and I would sometimes try it on when I was alone at home. Dressing up became my escape, the only way I could feel good about myself. I couldn't resist it. Once I was old enough, I insisted on staying home when my parents went to the cottage, claiming I wanted to hang out with my friends. However, my evenings were spent exploring Mom's closet. I wore the blonde pageboy wig she had bought for Halloween, adorned myself with jewelry we had shared for years, and eventually learned to create a female look using the makeup she left behind. I eventually got caught, but not in the way you might think. There was no surprise arrival home. In the internet age, it happened through an email. I opened it to find high-resolution images of myself in pantyhose and heels, struggling to fit into a tight panty girdle. Photos of me in Mom's favorite little black dress. Images of me bending over to slip on a blonde wig. Me trying to beautify myself, capturing moments of me posing in the mirror like a 19-year-old girl preparing for prom night. My mistake was not noticing the nanny cam on the dresser. The moment I realized it, I felt my heart drop. Luckily, I was alone in my room, and no one was there to hear me throw up. Then I read the rest of the email. It threatened that those photos, along with others, would be posted on Facebook for the world to see, unless I complied with Mom's demands. I was in disbelief. I was being blackmailed by my own mother who longed for a daughter. I have no idea how she convinced my father, but he never said a word when I began embracing my feminine side. In hindsight, I suspect she had been dosing me with hormones for a while. I was never very big or strong like other boys, and I never grew facial hair. The day I finally agreed to become her daughter, Mom took me to her salon for blonde hair extensions and a complete makeover. When we got home, I was allowed to choose any dress I wanted from her closet. We then went out for dinner, where Mom called me Meekan, while Dad simply muttered something about me being Daddy's little girl. Later, we sorted through my room, boxed up my boy clothes, and discussed what a girl's room should look like. That's when Mom announced that I would be living as Macon for a full year, working as a receptionist at Dad's accountancy firm. After that, I could decide, continue as a woman, attend college, or possibly go back to being a boy, if I still wanted to, and if it was still an option. The day I finally agreed to become her daughter, Mom took me to her salon for blonde hair extensions and a complete makeover. When we got home, I was allowed to choose any dress I wanted from her closet. We then went out for dinner, where Mom called me Meekan, while Dad simply muttered something about me being Daddy's little girl. Later, we sorted through my room, boxed up my boy clothes, and discussed what a girl's room should look like. That's when Mom announced that I would be living as Macon for a full year, working as a receptionist at Dad's accountancy firm. After that, I could decide, continue as a woman, attend college, or possibly go back to being a boy, if I still wanted to, and if it was still an option. I was fully aware of what my year in heels would entail. Mom would do everything possible to make me more of a woman, including pumping me full of estrogen. And that's precisely what happened. I'm now a full C-cup. This dress definitely isn't holding itself up, you know. I think I'm going to enjoy being a code.